India is a country with more than 15,000 kilometers of land borders, starting from the western side, Gujarat, and ending up on the eastern side, West Bengal. And the geographical location of India is such that we have many neighbors to deal with. It is also equally important to understand that India is also a country which has more than 7,500 kilometers of maritime boundary or coastal boundary. Today in this particular video we are going to talk about a very important update which was in news recently about the appointment of National Maritime Security Coordinator. What exactly is this particular appointment? Is it relevant for today? Is it a step in the right direction? All of this will be discussed in this particular video, so make sure that you watch this video till the end. Let us first try to understand what exactly was in the headlines. The headline said a few weeks back, government may appoint a National Maritime Security Coordinator to handle issues. What issues are these? We will discuss them. Then there was a news on 14th of July which said that Centre has finally given approval and is set to appoint a National Maritime Security Coordinator. Opinion of a lot of articles telling that whether this particular position was required, how important is this particular appointment, and how is this going to impact on the security infrastructure of our country. If we look at India, I am going to put your attention to this particular picture that we have here on the right hand side. So if we look at India, as I told you, the coastal boundaries start from this end and end up somewhere till West Bengal, and we can see how many states are impacted because of coastal security. So if your coastal security is not well maintained, you can be looking at issues with respect to security in all these states which are lying on the coastal areas. I am going to quickly remind you all about the 2008 Mumbai attacks which happened. I am talking about the 26/11 Mumbai attacks, during which we saw that the terrorists took the route of maritime, took the coastal route and ended up in Mumbai and created havoc there. Let's decode the news. What exactly are we talking about? What exactly was in news? So General Bipin Rawat, who is the Chief of Defence Staff of India, announced that the country was going to establish an apex federal body which will be named as National Maritime Commission, or the NMC. This will be done by mid 2021, and somebody who will be heading this particular organization will be the National Maritime Security Coordinator. So the NMSC, the National Maritime Security Coordinator, will be heading this particular apex federal body, National Maritime Commission. So this particular person who is going to be the National Maritime Security Coordinator will be working under the National Security Advisor of the country, who is Mr. Ajit Doval, and also will be acting as the principal advisor to the Government of India on all the maritime security domains. So this particular person will be the pivotal point who will be discussing everything and anything about maritime security domain. He will be the pivotal point between all the agencies, and he will be the principal advisor to the government as well. So the Ministry of Defence and Military Affairs sought the Union Cabinet's approval to create the post of NMSC, and which was then later approved. And what exactly or who exactly will be appointed as the first NMSC? Somewhere there is an approval by the government that the recent or either the serving or the recently retired Vice Admiral of the Indian Navy is likely to be appointed to this particular role at once, right? So the first appointment which will be made will be of somebody who is either serving or has retired recently from the position of Vice Admiral of the Indian Navy. So is this particular appointment something new? Is this a very new concept? The answer is no. NMSC has been a long pending requirement which was first recommended by the Kargil group of ministers. They said it is important to have a body which is going to be the pivotal point with respect to the maritime security, so that everything which has to be decided, everything which has to be communicated to all the other stakeholders is done by this particular center point. So this requirement was most felt during the 2008 Mumbai attacks, when we saw there was a lot of miscommunication, there was a lot of misinformation between the government agencies, between the armed forces. So the 2000 Mumbai attack, which happened 26/11, was carried out by the Lashkar-e-Taiba, in which we saw 10 militants with the help of maritime route, entered into the boundary of India, intruded into the boundary of India, and carried out multiple attacks in various locations in and around Mumbai. In fact, the BJP government, as soon as they assumed power in the 2014, they immediately said that we will be establishing a multidisciplinary National Maritime Authority very soon. But now we are in 2021 and already 7 years have passed. So this is coming very late. It should have happened before. But the good thing is that is finally something of this is happening. There has been a lot of delay in announcing the NMC, but however, it is now finally happening. So it is important that it happens as soon as possible and is something which is a very regular affair now, right? How important is this decision? How is it going to impact the Indian side of things? How is it going to ensure that our coastal boundaries are secure? The first reason is, why is this particular appointment important, is because if you look at India, the geostrategical location of India is such that India sits in the middle of Middle East and the Southeast nations. So India sits in the middle, and India has a coastline of more than 7,500 kilometers, which is a huge coastline. If we talk about the exclusive economic zone of India, it also extends to more than 2 million square kilometers. If I talk about the Indian situation internally, there are 9 states and 4 union territories which directly are coastal states, which directly have maritime boundaries, which directly have coastal boundaries, and for them coastal security is a very important subject. Now, if we look at India, internally all the states of India somehow believe that the coastal security is something which is only a prerogative of the central government to work on. It is only the central government's responsibility to ensure that our coastal boundaries are well guarded. Some states of India are yet to set up the maritime boards, which the center has already advised them to do. So something which has to be taken seriously is not taken seriously by the state governments. It is high time that we understand this. Why is this important again? Is because 90% of the country's trade by volume and over 70% of the trade of the country by value happens with the help of coastal routes, with the help of coastal boundaries, right? So including crude oil, everything is transported across the seas, which is vital for our economy and energy security. So definitely and only if our borders are secure, if our coastal boundaries are secure, only then we can be in a position to ensure that our country is secure, our energy security is there, all the non-traditional security threats are avoided, right? And what exactly is happening today, if we talk about the international scope of things, definitely China is an important player which is taking coastal security as a very important subject. If we look at China, China is moving towards a sea-based security doctrine. They are trying to penetrate into the Indian Ocean by talking to our neighbors, by maintaining friendly relations with our neighbors, for example Pakistan, for example Myanmar. We already know how Pakistan has been getting very close to the Chinese side. China in fact has been trying to encircle India from all the ends. We will talk about their strategy of string of pearls in the next slide. So definitely it makes this entire issue more and more important for India, right, from the Indian perspective. If I talk about China, so today China already has a naval base or a naval port somewhere in Myanmar. They have already spoken to Bangladesh. They already have an ongoing process of making a port in Sri Lanka. They already have a set base in Pakistan. They're also talking to a lot of countries in Africa, right? Also, they are now having friendly relations with Maldives. So India is somewhat surrounded from all the sides. If you look at the coastal boundaries, India is sitting in the middle, and China has already surrounded India from all the sides. So talking about this particular situation, it becomes even more important for a country like India to have a central body which is able to ensure communication, which is able to ensure that all the important things are taken care of with respect to the coastal security of the country. What are the other steps that the Indian government has taken with respect to coastal security? Before going into these particular initiatives, let me first talk about the string of pearls. You all can look at this particular picture on the right hand side. What exactly am I trying to tell you is the bases that China already has made, right? What are the oil shipping lanes that the Chinese side is using? String of pearls route is this. So if we talk about China, from Hong Kong to some locations in the South China Sea, to Cambodia, to Thailand, then to Myanmar, to Chittagong in Bangladesh, which used to be a very, very, very important port for India in the prehistoric times during the British era. Entire trade happened through the Chittagong port. Whatever trade we were doing in the northeast states was being done from the Chittagong port. But recently there was a news that Chittagong port now is also Bangladesh has decided to give Chittagong port to China so that they can carry out their activities there. They have a set port, Hambantota in Sri Lanka, also in the Maldives, Gwadar. Now they are also going to this particular area, Tanzania. They are also planning a financed port in Tanzania. So you can look at the situation India is in today. So it is important for India to ensure their coastal security. It is also important for India to ensure that their ports are modernized, their security infrastructure is in place, they are using the right technology to ensure that if there is any kind of situation where we have to retaliate, we are in a position to retaliate with head and hammer, right? So a lot of initiatives have been undertaken by the Indian government. In fact, since Prime Minister Narendra Modi has assumed office, we have seen there have been a lot of initiatives that the Indian government has taken. Let us talk about some of these initiatives which are also important with respect to the coastal security of the country. The first initiative is the Act East policy. Second is SAGAR, which stands for Security and Growth for All in the region, to ensure that every neighbor together is growing, right? The push for blue economy. India has now realized that 90% of the trade happens through the seas, happens through the oceans. So it is important to keep their presence very well in the oceanic regions. And India is also now trying to work on the concept of blue economy. So trying to push in the fisheries sector, trying to push in agricultural fishing as a part of the mainstream economy. Also recently there was a project announced in 2015, Sagarmala project was announced, under which almost 574 projects have been finalized by the Indian government. This project is, Sagarmala project is going to go on till up to 2035. So at least 20 years they are going to work on these 574 projects. Already I think almost 200 projects have been finalized, have been finished by the Indian government. And what exactly are they going to do with the help of Sagarmala project is that they are going to modernize all the ports which are there on the coastal areas of India. So all these ports will be modernized, all the latest equipments will be ensured that they are in place in these areas, infrastructure will be ensured, and also all the command lines will be ensured that everybody is connected. There is no kind of miscommunication or misinterpretation happening whenever there is a national security threat. Also, India has been participating in the Indo-Pacific initiative. Also, we have seen that India is very actively taking part in the Quad group, and also they have been getting indulged into many security operations which are trilateral or multilateral arrangements or security exercises which the Indian government is also taking part in. So it is safe to say that the Indian government finally has realized the importance of coastal security, and with the help of this particular appointment, National Maritime Security Coordinator. We hope to see things in a better light. We hope that coastal security is ensured. We hope that a lot of new things are done and a lot of coordination is seen with respect to any issue which arises in the future. So I hope this particular video helped you to know about this particular news which was there recently. For more such videos, please stay connected. Please like this particular video and share it with your friends and family. I will catch you next week with another concept, with another news from the internal security perspective. Till then, take care, bye-bye, and see you.